Hello and welcome to, I think, episode 66 of the Bad Psychics podcast. We are here to revisit arguably one of the more questionable episodes we have ever made. This is our review of the 25-26 NBA season, otherwise known as Welcome to Chuck Hour.
Yes, I'm happy the title.
As always, I'm joined by a couple of idiots. First of all, I predict I need to make an apology because on the initial episode I said he was founder member of the Josh Giddey fan club, and I was wrong. He's actually the founding member of the James Harden fan club. It's Chuck.
I don't even. Z. Thanks for the start of that this carry, I guess you say. Thanks.
Yeah. How are you, Chuck?
Flopping around like James Harden. That's how I am right now in my head.
Flopping around and carrying guns.
I get the reference.
That's more John Morant, but yeah.
And then I predict she's been taking tips from the Portland Trailblazers because she finally won recently, and so it's clear that rigging has taken place. It's Eloise.
Are we doing this now? We're just going to accuse the other of rigging. Is this what we're doing? Because that's very much what I did
my
last
win's
time.
legit. My win was legit from another time. Double and nothing.
Chuck did indeed. Can we just mention Chuck indeed won before Michael and Sean
and Jeter.
And Jeter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the most important one out.
It was a comeback too, because I was like, I was far away in part one. It's part two that carried me.
Mal keeps going on about how much he bottled it. So
yeah. And I mean, I will say, if Chuck doesn't win this episode, we said it on the initial episode, if the one person here who knows about basketball doesn't win the basketball episode, that might be one of the most shameful things to have ever happened on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I mean, if you even know basketball, the way this season gone, I think basketball knowers just didn't see this season. This is playoffs happened the way it gone down. So, I mean, this playoffs has shown NBA parity more than any season in the past, honestly. Like, the hell was this playoffs? How was it playoffs?
I mean, Chuck is in Egypt right now. He's so far in denial.
Not in denial, but just
favorite river.
Trying to go for acceptance, but it's hard.
Yeah. It's the first step to recovery, Chuck. It really is.
It's a long step.
Right. Let's switch to our spreadsheet in a hole.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, we are going to start off with reviewing how teams did this season. So we got teams, and then we got more players. So we'll start with the teams. To begin with, we predicted each of the conference divisions. We started off with the Atlantic. All of us said that the Knicks would win. Chuck was pained to say that the Knicks would win it. They didn't even win the division. That was the Celtics. let's start as we mean to go on. Eloise, talk to us about the Celtics season.
The Celtics got 56 wins, 26 losses. They won 30 of those games at home and lost 11, whereas on the road they won 26 and lost 15. And in the division, they won 10 of their games and lost 6 of them, and they played 82 games. That's what I think about the Celtics in the conference.
Okay. Thank you, Weezopedia.
I hope you were more useful than last night's online Survivor. But thanks, though. Thanks.
I mean, yeah.
Great
I just got read by Chuck.
It's a new life low for you. So next we come to Central Division.
I could say something about.
Okay, yeah.
Look,
I didn't want to make you say something every time.
It's okay because this was a fascinating deal with the Celtics. So people were coming into the season thinking the Celtics were going to be like a bottom team, not bottom 3 team, like the disappearing Wizards, but like a team that is kind of waiting for Jason Tatum to come back. They didn't think the pieces that were going to come in, fans anyway. But Brad Stevens, the GM of the Celtics, had something cooking and really gotten some fascinating pieces that really ended up picking up for this season. I think notably, if you really look at it too, was Derek White turning up a bit more. You had Jaylen Brown ended up being one of the big parts of this season early on and helped really catalyze where the Celtics ended up winning the division, which is kind of mad to do it without such a big star like Tatum is. And just overall kind of surprised a lot of people. And people, by the time the season was over, they were looking at the Celtics as a threat in the playoffs again, especially with Tatum coming back. Well, we'll talk later how that went, actually. But a surprisingly good season for the Celtics, which is kind of mad. But go ahead.
So next we come to the Central Division. All of us said we were in agreement again. We all said that the Cavs would be the best team in Central Division. Again, we all went for the second place team. It was actually the Pistons. Pistons had a really good season. We'll come to like more on the how they did overall in the conference, but trust it was well. I think they were seriously looking like major threats to possibly be the overall champions based on form. Like pretty much bossed. They barely even had a bad run of form. Like I'm looking at their season. March they lost 7 games but won 11. That's kind of the closest to a slump they had for the entire season. So and to be honest, the Cavs did okay. They were not bad. It's not like we made a really shockingly stupid prediction. Like with the Atlantic and several Central divisions, we went for what ended up being the 3rd and 4th place teams in the whole conference. So we weren't miles off, just not quite there. But still, no points on the board for any of us. But that is about to change because we come to the Southeast Division. This is the first one where we we diverged a little bit. Chuck and I both went for the Hawks. Eloise went for Orlando Magic. In the end, crazy close division. But by virtue of winning one game more than the Magic, the Hawks did win the Southeast Division. Chuck, talk about the Hawks.
I think a lot of how the Hawks did well came into their play from, I think, just from Jalen Johnson, who had a third team All NBA year, and also Nickel Alexander Walker, who was very much who won most improved player as a guard for the Hawks. A lot of it really was just coming together with just the Trae Young trade, trading Trae Young away to get CJ McCollum, really helped getting more of a veteran presence onto the team. That helped really come together and hold off a really rising Magic team to win the Southeast. I think they were obviously the team. Like the Magic, though, Magic has a lot of potential as well. And I think next year the Magic could really, if they don't make more moves in the summer, the Hawks, I think the Magic can actually take those next steps and be a threat in the East next year. Boncaro, especially Wagner, those two really have worked take those next steps to really be dangerous in the East. But yeah, it wasn't. It was surprising that they still won the Southeast without Young as he went to the Wizards, but it still wasn't surprising too much because at the end of the day, I think overall they have something going on there. You know, something cooking over in Atlanta, especially with a guy like Jalen Johnson having the year he had. I think they think he's the future. He's the future for this franchise now.
Very fair. I will say as well, like I mentioned how close it was between Hawks and Magic. Really close between four of the teams. You had Hawks winning 46, Magic winning 45, yep. Hornets winning 44, Heat winning 43. Arguably, of all the teams, like the ones with the best divisional record were actually the Hornets, who ended up coming third. So like that's basically that could be a really interesting division next season.
Oh yeah,
with the exception of the Wizards, who still suck.
I mean, Hornets was a big surprise. Like I think they're one of the big top 3 surprises in the NBA this year. I did not see them being as good as they were, and making a chance to even get in towards the playing game. That and they got into the playoffs proper, but Lonzo Ball really took not Lonzo. It's a ball. LaMelo Ball. Yeah. I think overall where they finally seen potential within LaMelo starting to grow for the Hornets. And I think that's a big thing. Yeah, they were a nice seed, so I think that's playoffs proper. They made the playoffs proper. And especially with what they've done with LaMelo, and just overall, as well as Miles Bridges had a big year, and Brandon Miller took steps too as a player. Honestly, and their rookie, Con Newpel, was, even though we know the obvious winner of the rookie of the year, he was right there with them, second in rookie of the year. And the main part about that, he was one of the better scorers on the team. He was their third leading scorer onto that Hornets team. So the Hornets was a pleasant surprise. Give it to Charles Lee, who coached them, to really get them to be pushed towards the playoffs like that. So they were one of the big pleasant surprises of the year, the Hornets.
Yeah, I mean, I still prefer Lonzo Ball because he was on The Masked Singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right. That did at least mean we can make the first visit to our other sheet that actually has scores on it, because we start off actually with some points, as
Mhm.
Chuck and I get 3 points for predicting a division winner. None for Eloise yet. However, I'm gonna risk it and try and come to Eloise, because this seemed like the team that she had most understanding of in the original episode. Eloise, talk to me about the what were the defending champions, Oklahoma City Thunder.
They're indeed the Oklahoma City Thunder. Um. Sorry, I'm just filling time for me to scroll through Wikipedia. They're indeed a team. I do not know what I'm talking about. So my idea was, because I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just gonna pick the best name. And give whoever that player is, and not knowing if they're wrong or not, a shout out. So Luguentz Dort is a great name.
Or
Um, obviously
Okay.
Shy also has a good name, but Dort is the best name.
Uh, okay.
Um, uh,
I mean, he played a lot of games this season.
yeah, they did.
Dort is one of their best defenders. He's a defensive option that really is good for wing defenders, always up in their face and things like that. So
another important stat is they've got 3 players over 7 foot. There we go. One of them's born in Germany.
Did you just say one of them's Bon Jovi?
Born in Germany.
Oh.
It's Sire Bon Jovi Hartenstein. is now his name.
Oh.
All right, there we go. That's the extent of my knowledge. I've been looking at all of the Wikipedia pages of the ones that I think you were gonna go to me just in case. So I'm glad that I didn't have this one up, so I had to fill time.
Good. Excellent. Okay. Well, on the plus side, we did all pick that the Thunder would win their division. Even Eloise. So points on the board for
Even Eloise.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, fair.
Points on the board for Bon Jovi and his crew. Next we come to the Pacific Division. Pacific Division. I and Eloise both went for the Lakers. Chuck went for the Golden State Warriors. He appeared in the initial episode to be quite confused that we were backing the Lakers. But look what happened. The Warriors were second bottom in the division, and we picked the division winners. So, Chuck, please explain to us in great detail why you're wrong.
So, yeah, about that. A lot went wrong for the Warriors this season. I think, um, you know, just not enough output for the people they had going on for them. I think it was once again Curry's team, and there just wasn't much going on with like Butler disappointed. He was injured a lot of the time too. Melton didn't really do much in like adding towards the scoring. Like it, the thing too is like points wise, it's Curry and Butler. No one else is even close to 20. And I'll give it to the Lakers. They did end up really taking the next step with Luka, who just it's Luka. That's what I get for downing that team, or at least doubting what they could do with Luka. Overall, I just did not see to have that bad of a season. The players that I thought they could have really taken those next steps didn't, especially Kuminga, who needed to be a more central part of that team, being one of the younger guys that were going to take that next level. Bringing in Porzingis just still didn't go well for them, didn't do enough. They ended up still somehow making the play-in tournament, but they didn't get out of the they didn't get in the playoffs. Very much a disappointing season for the Warriors, and if they know that the career of Curry is really at its twilight, they need to really give more pieces around him. I don't Butler especially, even though he's the second highest scorer, it just didn't feel like he was that contributing besides that. And they gotta do something. They gotta do something to really add some more energy in this team. Because by goodness, this was a really, really disappointing season for them. I mean, to only go into the playing game and lose in I think it was the last playing game. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. And I think overall they have a lot of work to do. So, hey, congrats again to the Lakers. They did the job very well enough. It's Lucas. I honestly believe this is Lucas' team now. As we get on to the next part of the next season, they have to really, they really have to put more emphasis towards Luka as LeBron really mulls retirement. Or going back to Cleveland, which is another rumor, which is just mad to me. He has a title in Cleveland. He doesn't need to go back and prove what. But yeah, GG's Lakers. Unbelievable Warriors.
Well, that does mean that Eloise and I get points that Chuck doesn't. So we get 3 points each. None for Chuck on that one. Next we come to the final of the divisions. It's the Southwest. Where having mocked Chuck just now, I feel like I need to be fair and eat crow a little bit myself as well. Because whilst none of us got this right, Eloise and Chuck said the Rockets. I said the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies came bottom of their division. I will say, I think they somewhat got nerfed by injuries. Like, I'm looking at their roster now, and at the end of the season, they had injured Aldama, Caldwell Pope, Clark, Edey, Morant, Scottie Pippen, Small, and Wells. And then add into that the fact that Morant had a pretty long suspension as well. I maybe it was not the best choice, but I feel it's made to look like a much worse choice by me because of circumstances beyond that which I could have predicted. But but yeah, as I say, Chuck and Eloise went for the Rockets. It ended up being the Spurs, who had a very solid season, which we will go into in more depth shortly. But I'm gonna, even though there's no points to add, I'm gonna round it out because it's the last of the divisions and put a 0 on. So next we come to the conferences. These are obviously worth more points because we're getting more in depth now. We've got our conference win predictions and our conference flop predictions. We'll start in the Eastern Conference. Our winners for that were Eloise and I said the Knicks, and so this is specifically regular season who topped the conferences. Just to clarify, Eloise and I said the Knicks. Chuck said the Cavs. As previously mentioned, we went for the third and fourth place teams out of 15. I feel like we did a respectable job. In the end, though, it was the Pistons. The Pistons, yeah, they did incredibly well this season. In the regular season. In terms of flops, I said the Hornets, as Chuck has mentioned, the Hornets were a bit of a surprise. So yeah, that didn't go great for me. I probably should have played it safe and gone with the floppiness that Chuck and Eloise both went for, with the Wizards. So speaking of basketball disasters, Eloise, it seems apt that you talk about the Wizards.
I seem to recognize a game of like when it's just awful, bad, and the Wizards don't exist. So there we go. I don't know what happened with the Wizards. All I know is that they have really boring names, which is a bit shit.
No good names there.
No, it's just people with nicknames instead of their real names, like Leaky Black and Bob Carrington. So it's not anything really interesting.
I'm just having a look. I mean, I do enjoy. There's a player who's got a misspelling of champagne as his surname.
Champagne, Justin Champagne.
Yeah.
But they obviously are just absolutely dismal. Which is why they're here. I don't know how because they got 2 players over 7 feet, but there we go.
I love that in Eloise's world, it's all the best players are tall.
It's basketball. Be tall.
Eloise, no, that's not how it works.
Be tall.
You could get to the NBA being tall, but being good in the NBA, that's a different story.
Lots of the best players in the NBA are tall, like Shaq. Like who's that one? The Chinese guy.
Yao Ming.
Yeah, there we go. Bowl. What's his name?
Bowl.
There's 2 bowls actually. We think
Both of them. This is my limit of basketball right here. The tall lads.
both of them.
Wembayama. He's also tall.
Now, Wemby, he is amazing altogether. But yeah, being 7 foot in the NBA doesn't mean you're good. That's for sure.
I refuse to believe that.
You know what? Your denial kind of helped my argument. Just,
I feel like somebody needs to introduce Eloise to Muggsy Bogues.
right?
I'm
Bugsy
aware.
Bogues.
I'm aware. And so by my logic, he's washed because he's not 7 foot. Anyway, nowhere near it.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, wait.
Of course.
How tall is? Oh, so shorter than me. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. So you could
I wouldn't be a
theoretically-
very good basketball player, so I don't know why he would be.
Sure. Yeah, one of the shiftiest Steelers, good passer, you know.
He played on the Steelers. I don't think he did American football. Holy crap, that's impressive then. Played in the NBA and Steelers. Why am I here? Why am I here?
I thought today, you know, maybe we won't be chucking his torturers. Well, I was so mistaken. Clearly mistaken.
I mean, all you said
It's
was
always Chuck.
Muggsy Bogues was on the Steelers. That's all you said.
No, stealer of the steal. You ever heard of the word steal? He stole the ball very well as a defensive point guard. Ay,
Yeah, steal
ay,
like the Steelers. Go steal. I don't. Also, the player I was thinking of was Manute Bol. Thank you very much.
Right.
He also has a son named Bobo.
Bol, yeah, I'm aware of Bol.
Uh,
All right, move on.
Stealing on. Yep.
Yeah.
Stole this conversation.
Okay. I mean, then we come to the Western Conference. So we all had the same prediction for the conference winners. We all went for the Thunder. That was correct. They were pushed very close by the Spurs. A 64-18 versus a 62-20. So like not didn't have it all their own way. Then we come to the flops in the Western Conference, and this was the only one I think where all three of us diverged completely. There was no repetition at all, and against all odds, I said it'd be the Pelicans. They were pretty bad. Chuck said it would be the Kings. They were as bad. However, Eloise gets points that nobody else does for saying that the Jazz would be the worst team in the conference. They lost in the tiebreak against the Kings. So like it's just about a win against Chuck. I feel a bit sorry for Chuck. I considered giving him pity points, but I decided he probably doesn't need them. So yeah. Overall, in terms of what that means points wise, I pick up 6 points because I got the Western winners. Chuck picks up 12 points because he got the Western winners and the Eastern flops. And Eloise picked up 18 points because she got the Western winners and both of the flops. Confirming her viewpoint.
The panic in Chuck's eyes there when you said 18 points was funny. Chuck's life flashed in front of his eyes then when he realized I got 18 points from that little bit.
Yeah. Chuck's sweating. So then we come to the overall conference winners. So in the Eastern Conference, Chuck and I both thought it would be the Cavs. The Cavs made it to the conference finals and lost to the eventual champions, which I'll make Chuck talk about at length soon. Eloise went for the Magic. I mean, Magic made the playoffs, but that's about as much as we can say. And then in terms of the Western Championship, I said the Lakers. I was very locked in on the Lakers. I was like, Luka's gonna win it single-handedly. The other two went Thunder. I mean, we were all wrong. I was more wrong. I'll admit that the Lakers did lose to the Thunder 4-0 in the semis. Then the Thunder lost to the Spurs, and all of us thought that the NBA champions were going to come from the Western Conference. Whatever our predictions, we all said it was going to come from the Western Conference, but none of us even got the Western Conference team right, so we physically couldn't have been right by this point. However, in the end, having lost only 3 matches out of 19 in the entire playoff stretch, the winners were Chuck's favorite team, the New York Knicks. Chuck, this is your moment. Give us the most glowing review possible of the Knicks season.
I'm going to give you a record in one of the Eastern Conference playoff series, 2-1. Atlanta was 2-1 up against those dastardly Knicks. They were right there. 2 more games, they were gone. They're just another year of Knicks failure. Knicks go on to win 8 straight. Only losing game 3. And then game 4, down 29 to the Spurs. And again, the Spurs were... I didn't see them coming. I honestly didn't. I thought Wemby was going to have a great year, of course, but I didn't think it wouldn't be enough. But he had a legendary year and just was short for the... Just came up short for MVP, but he turned it on in the playoffs. And I was thinking, okay, like, Spurs got to come in, get the job done, right? Even though some people were saying the Knicks were a bit more of the favorite in the sense of how much they were winning. Game 4, 29 points. You gotta say game over, right? Gotta say done. Gotta say it's cooked. There we go, 2-2, going back to 2-2. We got this a crazy good series. And the Knicks goes on to create one of the greatest comebacks in NBA Finals history. 29 point. Okay, yeah, the greatest. I remember talking to a friend, and they heard shouts outside, because they were in New York City, and they talked about hearing the shouts of like "Go New York, go New York," go their little shout of being New York. It's funny too. I am a born New Yorker. I love that city. I would like to live in that city again later on in life. I hate all the sports teams. I cannot stand all the sports teams, including, I think number 2 is the Knicks. Number 1 gotta be the Yankees and their entitlement. But, and then one of my friends who is a diehard Knicks fan came in and he said, we just had one of the greatest comebacks. And the cherry on top of the cake was the tip-in by OG Anunoby, was a huge part in this playoff run defensively and getting points whenever it's important, because and this is his second title. He won his first title with Toronto, but he wasn't involved in it because he had a health scare. I I forgot what it's called specifically, but for him to come in now and play that huge part, to get the tip in, to help win Game 4, which is regarded as one of the greatest playoff games of all time, and to go on to finish off what they've started with just making a mini comeback in that game against Game 5 against the Spurs at San Antonio to win the title. It is one of the great playoff runs in history. From 2-1 down against Atlanta to winning the playoffs, only losing one other game.
And
the nightmare scenario has been realized.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can tell just how thrilled you are about it.
Overjoyed. Oodles of joy. Unbelievably thrilled.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of what it means for the podcast, though, like, yeah, we kind of sucked at this bit. Just no points anywhere. No points
Look,
at all.
we were close, man. If the Thunder just did their job and took out the Spurs, I don't think the Knicks beat the Thunder. I do not think the Knicks beat the Thunder. But great contribution, Eloise. Great.
Sorry, I've got Thunder by Imagine Dragons in my head.
Great contributions.
And then
fantastic.
So I've had Thunder by Imagine Dragons, and I've also had Magic by Pilot in my head at different times because I've just been checked out. So
we know that you've been in a mass hotel. And people leave me at mass at a hotel. Yeah. Still frustrating. Brunson. I can't help but agree. That is one of the greatest free agent acquisitions in NBA history. Greatest free agent acquisition in Knicks history for sure at this point. They're calling him up there with Clyde Frazier as the greatest Knick of all time, which again they both won titles, so understood. And you could say that Brunson has been a bigger part of that than even Clyde was in his time where he won the title with the Knicks. He's a great player in his own right, but what Jalen Brunson has been a catalyst, a huge leader part, clutch as well. One of the most clutch players in the NBA, and he showed it throughout this playoffs again. When they need a bucket, he gives them that bucket, which is just... I talk to people about this. He is a product of some of the big mistakes that teams have made in the last few seasons. Dallas could have kept him. He wanted to stay with Dallas. They didn't want to give him the money. So they let him go to the Knicks in the offseason. Mike Brown, their head coach, was fired by Sacramento a few days before he was criticizing De'Aaron Fox, who was on the Spurs, about his play when he was a King. They fired him a few days later. He never felt more vindicated. Like it's that GIF, vindication. Because De'Aaron was on the Spurs and he had a mare of a series. Like he was non-existent. Both their point guards didn't exactly play the best, but at least Castle. At least Castle can contribute on defense.
Wrestler, by the way, Z.
I did. Dalton Castle. But Castle at least had contributions on the defensive end. De'Aaron Fox was useless as a bag of peanut. And that layered more into the fact that, again, the Knicks created a great team out of mistakes of other teams. They had the Bridges trade, Hart trade. A lot of these teams weren't like draft picks. Most of the team were trades or free agent pickups. I feel like they're saying that's a trend that may go into it, but honestly, it's just exception to the rule. You still win with picks. The Thunder is going to still be a dangerous team with full of their great draft picks, and they're going to get draft picks again. I still think they're going to be a dynasty. I think this is a blip in their dynasty. Yes, they have to deal with Spurs more now with Wemby, but they still have work to do to try to get more of a team around him. They see that De'Aaron is not the guy for as like the second guy for Wemby, so they have to rethink some things. They're still going to be dangerous, but overall, this has been a flash in the pan type of playoff run that you don't see very often. I say you compare this with the Pistons playoff run back in '04 when they beat the Lakers in one of the great upsets in the NBA Finals history through great defense. But honestly, I'm not gonna stop hearing from any Knicks fan that will walk in the room for the next year and a half. The nightmare scenario has arrived. The Knicks are NBA champions. Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, the Knicks not only the champions, but it means that Chuck didn't even get to say that he made any points from predicting them. So as we look at the overall scores for the team's portion of this episode, Eloise is winning.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
I'm last on 15 because yeah. Chuck has 18. Eloise has 24. So yeah, Eloise knows ball. Um uh
He knows a bull, but ball. Let's relax.
right. Let's move on to the player part now, mostly. So for this, as a reminder, you had to put a numerical value for most of these. You could also put a name. If you put a name and you got the right name, you tripled any points that you would win. But if you put the wrong name, you lose your points for this question. We had a variety of strategies. Eloise was like, I'm leaving the names alone. I'm just going for numbers. I did a bit of a mix. I thought, I'm gonna try a bit, but only if I'm pretty confident. Chuck was just like, I'm going for all the points. I'm gonna triple everything, all or nothing. We'll see how that goes. So first of all, we start with points in a game. So this is the most points in a single game. So you get 5 points if you're within 1. Otherwise, 3 points if you're closest, 1 point if you're further away, and then maybe you triple things. However, we start off, as I say, with points in a game, and I can't help but feel that we were all a little off with this one, because one of the most incredible single game performances ever.
Yeah.
Admittedly against the Wizards, but still pretty impressive. 83 points.
Yep.
By Bam Adebayo for the Heat against the Wizards. The second highest scoring game by a player ever.
That's Kobe.
Yeah. And yeah. So none of us were particularly close with our numerical values. Chuck's kind of lucky because he got the wrong player, so he would have lost his points. But he wasn't going to get any points anyway because he was furthest away. And I said 69. Eloise said 65, which means, yeah, I'm a little bit closer. So yeah, three points for me, one for Eloise. Next we come to points per game. So this is average points per game across the entire season. Chuck this time went for Giannis. After going for Luca for points in the game and getting that wrong, he should have gone for Luca for points per game.
I thought so. Yeah.
But worth saying, again, didn't really matter because he was the furthest away.
Yeah.
With his numerical value. The actual answer was Luca with 33.5, which means I'm within one. And
yeah.
So I get 5 points for that one, and Eloise gets 1 for being second closest. Then we come to rebounds in a game. Rebounds in a game. I clicked the wrong thing there. Apologies if you saw that. Rebounds in a game. I went for 27. Chuck went for 25. Eloise went for 28. Chuck had the exact right value.
No
it was
way.
25.
It was a different play, wasn't it?
But it was the wrong player. So he loses all his points. It was Scotty Barnes for the Raptors. So yeah, Chuck was closest but gets no points. Eloise was furthest away, so gets no points. And I was like second nearest and didn't do anything, so I just get 1 point and that's it. So next we come to rebounds per game. This is a level of impressive in a in one of the categories where the closest people get points. Eloise said 10. I said 13. Chuck said 13. The value was 12.9. So Chuck and I were within 0.1. But we both named players. And we were both wrong. It was Nikola Jokic for the Nuggets, 12.9. And what that ends up meaning is that Eloise was too far away, and both the people who were close enough fucked it up. So there are
we all get 0
points. No points on
I have
a
bad feeling about this.
So yeah, okay. Then we come to the assists in a game. So the assists in a game. Eloise and I went for 22. Chuck went for 18. Eloise and I were both within 1. The most assists in a single game was 23 by Ryan Nembhard of the Mavericks, which also means that even if Chuck had got closer to the value, he still wouldn't have got any points because he was too far away. Because he got the wrong player, rather.
The name business is just not worth it.
Uh,
It's hard to
so
predict.
Eloise and I both get 5 points, which is delightful. So then we come to assists per game. Chuck and I went for 11. Eloise went for 12. And the answer was 10.7. So Chuck and I are within 1. Except he went for Jokic for the wrong question. Jokic had the assists per game, but not the assists in a game. So that means I get 5 points, nobody else gets points. So yeah. Then we move on to blocks. So this is blocks in a game. So Chuck went for 5. Eloise and I went for 10. Chuck also said that it would be Wemby. And it was Wemby. Yeah, Wemby had 9 blocks. So Chuck triples his points. But he was too far away, so he's tripling 0.
This is a historic performance right here.
So
Oh man.
yeah, Eloise and I. Wait, hang on. No, I put that wrong. Never mind. So no points for Chuck. 5 points for Eloise and I for being within 1. I had tried to give Chuck Eloise's points. That's wrong. At least I caught it myself that time.
Not allowed them.
Yeah. Then we go to blocks per game. Eloise and Chuck went for 3. I said 4. The answer was 3.1. So all of us are within 1. So I do recognize that Chuck and Eloise are closer though, and so I've taken that into account. But the thing is, Chuck should have gone for Wemby for this one too. He went for Turner, and it wasn't Turner. So Chuck gets 0 points again. Eloise gets 5 points, and I felt like, so I got the right player. So my points tripled. I figured I can't take the 5 points for being within 1 as well, even though it's technically true when I'm not the closest. So I thought what was fair was to take the 3 points for being otherwise closest. So I tripled the 3 points though still because I had the right name. So that's 9 points. Chuck 0, Eloise 5. So yeah, then we come to the awards. The awards carried some big points because predicting individual players tends to be pretty tricky across the course of a season. So these are where there are some big points on offer. Starting off with Rookie of the Year, you get points if you get the right answer. You also get points if fewer points if they were one of the 3 finalists for the award. Eloise for Rookie went for Trey Johnson. She was insistent that despite the fact that every single media body had the same person as the number 1 recruit ranking, and that Chuck and I went for him, that we were definitely wrong and Eloise was definitely right. No. Cooper Flag. I feel like Cooper Flag deserves a bit of a bit of a talk up for the rookie season he had. So I'll let you talk about Cooper Flag.
Yeah, he had a great rookie season, but it was like very unsurprising because Dallas was cooked as a team. He did the best he could to really drag Dallas through the season and keep them interesting. As you know, having such a good rookie season with 21 points a game, 7 total rebounds per game, 4 assists, a steal, a block, 46% from the field goal. Just overall, just a great rookie season from him. But yeah, I think it was not really, honestly, it wasn't really that big of a surprise that he would get that with the year he had. It's just overall, you know, as they call him, the main event from being from Maine. He's really one of the top players that really has a lot of potential within. It's just you're still worried about the fact that he still is on a terrible Mavericks team that had to clean house. Kids fired. Nico Harrison is finally gone. They really have a lot of work to do with this team. They have an aging Klay Thompson as well. It's just they have a lot of work with this team. They do have a guy for the future, which is good for them. And no, Ryan Nembhard wasn't bad either in his first year. 5 assists, 6 points, yes, but like they can work off him being a solid guy for them. So at least there's that. But this team's pretty bad. Like, yeah, I don't see Kyrie Irving being on this team much longer. Derek Lively was out for most of the season as well. Who's 2 big pieces that needed to really be a team that was pretty good. And then they ended up trading Anthony Davis to the Wizards to get some picks back. The build begins, but honestly, Cooper Flag is a great guy to really build around, which is so annoying because it's the Mavericks. That damn franchise traded Luka. Like, Flag right after. Get out of here. Get out of here with this mess, man. Oh, I don't believe in NBA rig, but they do not help themselves with stuff like this. The Chris Paul trade to the Lakers that they said no on. It just doesn't help their cause. But congrats to Cooper Flag. I don't think it was that surprising. But Cotton Cupel, who finished second, was like, again, he came out of nowhere, had a great season to help the Hornets be proper in the playoffs. GG's on that. That is a bit more surprising than Cooper Flag winning Rookie of the Year.
But yeah, in points terms, as I said, these is where there'd be big points. 12 points for Chuck and I for taking honestly what I kind of viewed as a layup, but Eloise decided she wanted to be a hipster and not pick the single most obvious answer on the entire.
I said that in hindsight, but we didn't know shit.
I mean, we did though.
He could have had an injured season like mine one did. So we didn't know shit. So layoff. I didn't do that bad, right? I picked a player that was a rookie. That's a good start.
That's the bar that Eloise successfully found a rookie.
So
I picked the rookie. Yay.
Oh,
great job.
Right. Next we come to most improved. We discussed this a bit earlier actually. Most improved ended up going to Nicole Alexander-Walker at the Hawks. Yep. We talked about that as part of the Hawks season. I said Josh Giddey. I did mean it, but it was partially for the bit, just so that I could accuse Chuck of things as well. He went for Banchero. Eloise went for Amen Thompson. And yeah, none of us were even close. The other finalists were Denny Avdija at Trailblazers and Jalen Duran at the Pistons. So yeah, no, no points there. No points there. Defensive player next. We all went for different names. Eloise named a defensive player, so apparently that means that she should get credit. Eloise went for Jonas. Chuck went for Wemby, and I went for Gobert. I mean, I feel like did I did okay. Like I'm okay with mine. He made the all defensive team. So for the 9th time. So like I think I did all right. I'm not mad at it. Giannis did not make it into the all defensive team, so he was at least not in the top 10. Chuck is finally, though, going to get some points for naming Wemby in the right place, because Wemby did indeed win defensive player. So Chuck picks up an unanswered 12 points there. Next, we come to MVP. We were split. Eloise and I both went for Luca. I like. I feel like that was a reasonable pick. He did have a very good season because he's Luca, but in the end, not even top 3, so we don't get mercy points. The runners-up were Jokic and Wembanyama. Chuck, however, said that SGA would win MVP for the 2nd consecutive season. Go on, Chuck. I'll give you a moment to shine to talk about SGA.
I mean, what else what is to really say besides he has been Mr. Reliable for the Thunder? Again, just another product of great draft picking from and just work from getting those players from just being like they have one of the best GMs in the game. And he just showed it again with what they're doing. Like Sam Presti is the best GM in the NBA, and Shea is just proof of that. 2 straight MVPs, 31 points per game, 6 assists, about 1.4 steals, damn near a block a game. He is all over the ball, all over the court in ways of in the best way possible, being either a threat on defense and then being a threat on offense, being the guy on offense really, and just again, if it wasn't for such a close series, I still think the Thunder would have won the title against the Knicks, but we'll never know. I think it wasn't that big of a surprise for me they told SGA, and he does have his faults with he's been known as a notorious flopper. Gets a lot of his also gets a lot of his points from the free throw line because of it, but overall, this guy is one of the best the NBA has to offer. You just can't doubt that, honestly. And 2 straight MVPs kind of really showing that. So GG's to him, and well earned to him. I think very much so.
Yeah, I mean, well done to him, but well done to you as well, I suppose, for picking up another 12 points. So then we come to the bonuses. Now, I didn't check this, but I had to go off memory a bit. Because Chuck's, as written, says there will be 20 triple doubles this season. I think we looked that up and went, well, duh. And I think he explained that he meant there would be a player that would get 20 triple doubles this season. We still thought that that was very likely. We didn't offer many points. It was a 3 up, 3 down because this had the old format. There was one player who did manage it, but he also smashed it. Nikola Jokic got 34 triple doubles, so Chuck will get his bonus points. Worth if he did just, if I'm misremembering and he did just mean there will be 20.
No, I said there would be a player. I
Okay.
said there would be a player.
I was going to say, because there were 136 in total.
No, I said there would be a player with 20 doubles this season.
Second place, worth mentioning, Chuck's original love, Josh Giddey, had 13. So, you know,
it wasn't for Jokic, I wouldn't have been wrong.
Yes, Jokic saved you. Eloise said that somebody would have a 50-40-90 this season. Didn't happen. Still hasn't been one the last 4 seasons, I think. And I said that the coach of the year would be the championship winning coach. It doesn't happen very often.
I just saw one.
Yeah, the winner ended up being the Celtics coach.
Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah. I don't
entirely
know that I understand that choice.
I do.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. The runners-up made more sense to me, though. Like, the bigger stuff with the Pistons and Johnson at Spurs, those made sense to me. Celtics, not as much to my very barely paid.
Like I said, Celtics were predicted to not even make the playoffs this season. To go have 56 wins is actually a hell of an achievement. Without Tatum, with Brown and just the pieces around him. So I think Missoula really did earn Coach of the Year because of that turnaround. But yeah, I guess I can see the other two as well, Bickerstaff at Detroit. But there was like a slow moving up with the Pistons. Like with the Celtics, they really weren't supposed to be a threat like this at all. So, but props to Missoula for winning it. Yeah.
So in terms of what that means, Chuck gets his bonus points. Eloise and I lose points. So I lose 8 because I decided to really roll the dice. Because I didn't think I would be anywhere near on this episode. Eloise, by her standards at this point in pod history, rolled the dice and went for 4. So, but Eloise loses 4. Chuck had a little bit of a layup. We only gave him 3, but he did at least get them. Which means that the total from this, from the players section, Chuck picks up 39. I pick up 37. Eloise picked up 13. So we'll bring back the team scores. I had 15. Chuck had 18. Eloise had 24. And it does mean, by far too narrow a margin, and we should still mock him endlessly, Chuck does win by 5 points from me. Eloise, once again, seems to always struggle a bit on the miscellaneous section in a lot of episodes.
It's so random.
Well, okay, Miss, who's going to win the Fair Play Award at the World Cup?
I did that because of the kind of things that you put, so...
Yeah, but you have bought into the chaos, so you have only yourself to
I'm just
blame.
explaining why I'm shit.
Yeah. But yes, well done, Chuck. You have just narrowly avoided the biggest humiliation in podcast history.
I wouldn't exactly say that. I mean,
It's
look.
no, it's the equivalent of like Man City beating, I'm gonna say, Port Vale 1-0 with a penalty. Like, you did it, but it will count for your record. You have a second win, but the
That's the bigger of the fact that I didn't use this as the first win. It was
yeah.
I got
Now
2
got
wins.
2.
You
Oh
now
no,
have
he's
2
done.
wins before Michael, Sean, and
Oh
Nita
Jesus.
have one. But yeah. Well, that concludes the chaos that was the 25-26 NBA season episode. Believe it or not, we will be doing this again because I think I've found another couple of people who can join us and talk actual ball with Chuck whilst I just make jokes. But maybe I'll win next time because I came damn close.
Yeah, you came close, and then Eloise.
I think it's fair to say that I probably will let Z host that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any use being on this again.
I mean, I don't know.
We loved your takes on how Boston went it up, won and lost. We appreciate those insightful takes.
Yeah, we now know that a player played for both in the NBA and for the Steelers, and that Bon Jovi is also a basketball player. Though.
And that Chuck almost lost this episode by
won.
deciding he wanted to list all the players,
Yeah,
but have like individual names per the categories where he could have just chucked a name on there.
The funny thing is, a lot of the times, if he reversed the names,
he should have just done 2, like a name for 2, and then just like he would have won it by a lot more, know. But he made it hard for himself. He played hard mode.
Yeah. But yeah,
I had to play hard mode with you 2 playing this.
Pipe down. You only won by 5.
Challenge myself. Because of playing hard mode. So that's even more enhanced that I pulled it off still because I called 2 of the 3 award winners. Well, 3 of the 4 actually. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of that episode. We'll be back. What's the next episode going to be? I know this.
I've got one in a couple of days. I don't remember what it is.
Wimbledon. Wimbledon will be the next episode.
Great.
In fact, actually, this might end up coming out. It depends how quick I can be asked to edit this as to whether this is the next episode or Wimbledon is. Yeah. Been a pleasure, both of you. I've enjoyed your very differing levels of insight in this episode. And to you at home, remember to always be big mystics, not big mistakes. Bye!